Hey comic book fans, welcome back to the Comic Fix. Now in today's video, I'm just going to be doing a video blog. You can expect a video blog every single Wednesday, just me talking about anything I read throughout the week and what am I going to be doing on my channel. It's so good to be back. I mean, I did take quite a bit of time off. I kind of did some backtracking. I said I'm not going to buy any comic books because I need to save the money. And as we all know, it's all about the money. So I save up some money and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. I am not buying any more hard copies. I'm not buying any more floppies. I'm not going to my comic book shop, period. Well, I'm going to my comic book shop. I'm getting some graphic novels or anything like that. But I decided to stop buying single issues. On Comixology, digital comics, you can't expect to buy a comic that came out a month or 2 months ago and be at $1.99. Now, with comics being so damn expensive, I mean, like when I was buying just a mountain full of comics, I was looking at it and I was like, man, I am spending a lot of money each and every week. I was expecting to pay about $50 a week on comics. I mean, that is just ridiculous. So I thought to myself, give myself a time away and come back. And the Comixology is actually saving me so much money. So I'm going back and reading my comics, and I kind of like reading them digitally. I don't know about you guys. I know a lot of people are against digital, but I never have had the collector's mentality. I have moved a couple times this year, or last year, and I gotta tell you, it's really terrible just to be lugging all those comics around to different places. I mean, you just like, wow, if I just keep on doing this week after week after week and just accumulate so much more books, the next time I'm going to have to move, hopefully it's not a long time, but the next time it happens, it's going to be a bitch just to get all those comics to a different spot. So I went digital. I am now only spending $1.99 on a comic. And I decided with me going digital, I'm able to show the images like how you've probably seen in my Green Arrow series that I was just doing, where I started to do reviews on story arcs instead of just individual issues. And when you read a story, like I think how it's supposed to be meant to be, and one sitting and one story arc and read every single issue back, you get the sense of what the writer was trying to do, because there was times where certain issues where just like the pacing was off and it was just a little bit like you're like just scratching your head and like thinking, I hope that this is going to be going somewhere. And it's kind of nice just to be knowing that, oh, I got the next issue right here, so I know it's going to be going someplace. And it does suck though to be like, to tell yourself, I'm not going to buy a comic that's $2.99 or $3.99 because I'm going to wait for it to go drop down in price. And you see this next issue and you're like, oh, you see everyone on YouTube like saying, hey, this is my issue, this is what I got, and this I'm going to talk about it. It's like, oh man, I can't talk about it yet, but I will someday. And so, as I said with me buying our full story arc instead of just individual issues, I'm able to review it in a full entirety. And I decided, I was like, man, I can change something up. I can start to go and look more at entire runs of certain writers and certain artists and whatever they do, and be able to put in a full series of things. Like right now, I did the first two story arcs in Jeff Lemire and Andre Sorrentino's Green Lantern or Green Arrow run, and I was able to do the first two story arcs, and it was like, all right, this is awesome, and I'm able to put it in its own little group. So if you go to my YouTube page, and you'll be able to see, hey, look at this. There's the whole entire reviews of every single story arc that was in certain run. And now I'm going to be doing a little bit more Marvel too, because as you all should know, I'm big into DC. And so when I looked at Marvel has the Marvel Unlimited on their homepage, and now I'm able to be like, okay, I'm going to go look at complete runs on certain Marvel characters and be able to get into the Marvel universe. Because I tried to get into the whole Marvel universe and get into their characters. But I gotta say, there was one thing that I really did not like, was not knowing the whole entire history of certain characters. Well, there's one thing you know in comics, you can never know the whole entire history. But I like having foundation, and I never felt like I had a foundation with Marvel characters like I do with DC, and especially with the DC reboot that happened. Because I've been pretty much up to date with the DC reboot. And so, next week on Monday, I'm going to be starting a new entire series on life after Geoff Johns in the Green Lantern universe. So I'm going to look at the first 3 issues of every single Green Lantern series. Green Lantern, New Guardians, Red Lanterns, and Green Lantern Corps. And look at them and seeing how much things have changed since Geoff Johns has left. And how are these new writers doing with these characters that Geoff Johns has just solely just went and created almost like the universe again and just created these characters and rebooted them. How are they doing with these characters that we know and love? Especially after the great run that was of Geoff Johns. And so I'm just really stoked by 2014. And hopefully I'm going to get a lot more viewers, people seeing that what I'm doing, and I'm just going to try to stick with the schedule. And with that schedule, it'll mean more stuff for you guys to watch and just more me just talking to the camera. I gotta tell you, it's very, it makes you feel better when you're talking to the camera and you're talking to all these people that have the same interests as you do. And that's what I love you guys for. I mean, it was so hard just not doing any videos because I was like, I have nothing to say because I wasn't up to date. And so I started to read my Green Lantern books. And I read because I was hearing a lot of people being like, Red Lanterns is really good. I remember reading Red Lanterns before the Geoff Johns left, and I forget who was doing the book, but I was the only one really reading it. It was me and Roger. We were kind of like the ones being like, hey guys, gotta read this book. And it seems like a lot of people have gone back onto this book once Guy Gardner got into the Red Lantern book. And I just read the first issue in issue 21 last night, and I'm just in bed. I was about ready to go to sleep. I was like, I'll just read the first issue. And so I'm on the computer, and I got to the part where Guy Gardner beat up Atrocitus, and you're like, holy fuck, man, this is like epic. And then he goes and takes the ring and takes off the red ring, and you see Atrocitus. He looks like he's about to die. And you see that cat thing just go and put Atrocitus in this bubble, and you see Guy Gardner put on the red ring, and you're like, wow, this is awesome. And so that just like put such a big smile on my face, and I cannot wait to talk about this entire series on the first 3 issues, and then do their Lights Out, which was a little, I think a month crossover, which the book right now, the Lights Out crossover, which would have been $2.99 just a month ago or 2, is now $1.99 each issue. And so it feels so much better to buy practically a brand new comic at $1.99 than at $2.99. And again, with digital, I don't expect everyone to grab onto the digital, because digital with comics in general, it's more about the collector's mentality. The collectors, they're just the general readers. And like, I got the little bit of collector's bug when it comes to things like Saga. I want to have that entire run. But I don't want to have every single run of every single book I read. Sometimes I just want to read a book just to read it and just have it onto the computer, and I can just look back at it any time. But things like Saga or anything that's indie, I would like to have it as a whole and be like, hey, look at this collection I have of indie titles. So that's what I've been doing the last week, and I just hopefully you guys have been enjoying my new content I've been putting up there. I'm going to be doing some gaming stuff once we get some gaming, anything gaming on my PS4, because right now it's kind of collecting dust because there's nothing really play, because I've already played it all, and I got Gamefly send me all the games that I wanted, and now I'm kind of just like twiddling my thumbs until we could get any new games. I think there's some coming out in February, so I gotta wait a month. But I'm glad to be back, and I love watching your guys' videos, and I've been trying to do my hardest to be more in the YouTube comic community Facebook page, just talking to people and whatnot. And I'm just trying to get my name out there and just trying to have fun. That's all I want. It's just to have fun. And pretty soon my Giants will be coming back on in March. We'll be getting some Giants baseball, so I cannot wait for that. And I'm thinking, because back in my roots, when I first started doing YouTube, I actually had baseball where I would talk about the Giants in each After each series that they would play, I would talk about it. And maybe I will start another page and go back to my old YouTube channel and start doing those again. And yeah, I'm just having fun. And I enjoy watching you guys' videos, and I'll see you guys next time on the Comic Fix. And you expect every single Wednesday for me to have this little video vlog, just me talking to the camera, talking to you guys about my week in comics and what I plan to do with my channel. So I'll see you guys next time on the next Comic Fix.